To the Relatable Radio Hour with me, Dr. Green. Thank you so very much for joining. I'm really excited about tonight's conversation. I'm bringing another brother of Alpha Phi Alpha to the show, so always going to represent for us. I'm really excited about our conversation. We've talked about so many things on this show, and I think something that's always good to talk about is laughter, because sometimes we take ourselves a little too seriously sometimes. And also, just being more healthy, right? And I think tonight's guest is going to have a perfect antidote into talking about both of those things: laughing, being funny, laughing at life, but also taking your health very, 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 very seriously. So, without any more ado, I want to present to you all my fraternity brother, Darius Stowers, who is a comedian Darius Stowers. How are you doing, brother Stowers?
What's going on, Sherman? How you feeling, man?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Very excited to hear more about your journey and everything. I've known you for quite some time, but I would love for you just to share a little bit about yourself to our audience.
Man, first off, happy to be here, man. You was on my podcast a while back,
Yeah,
blessing
yeah,
us with the tunes, man. You was out
yeah.
there singing. So yeah, I want to come back over here and return the favor. And anytime you want to have me, have me back, whatever.
I
Uh,
appreciate it.
but I'm Darius Stowers. I'm from all over. It's crazy because when people ask me that question, I never know what to say now. I'm like one of them the mutts that just move around. Uh, so I was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan, raised in Chicago, went to school, went to college in Mississippi, Delta State University, and then now I'm back in Grand Rapids, Michigan. So I did like this full circle little tour.
Yeah, you
So
did.
yeah, I did a full circle thing. So that's been about I say about 12 years, about 12 years in every space, really, to be honest.
Wow.
So I'm 35 years old. So by the time I'm gonna turn 36, I guess I'll be in every place about 12 years.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I didn't know that you were from Grand Rapids originally. I just assumed since you had gone to college in Mississippi, you were from Mississippi. I didn't even know you were in another place and then came to Mississippi. Did you have any affiliation to Mississippi, or you just came for college?
Man, everybody from Chicago is from Mississippi.
Oh, right, right, right.
Chicago is basically northern Mississippi.
It is. Yes. It's
Everybody grandma that I grew up with, everybody mama, there's somebody from Mississippi. Like it is.
yeah.
That's why the food's so good in Chicago.
Yeah, they brought it. They brought it to Chicago from
Hmm.
Mississippi. Okay. All right. Well, that's great, man. I appreciate you sharing that with us tonight. So, you have presented yourself to be a funny man, and I know that you are, but I know that every funny man's journey starts somewhere. So, for you to be in that space as a comedian, or maybe even knowing the fact that you were a comedian, talk to us a little bit about how you found that out and how it developed for you.
Man, another thing is when you grow up in a black household, you automatically a comedian. I don't care who you are. Even if you ain't the funny one, you just grow up a comedian. Cause especially in my household it was jokes, jokes, jokes. And if you couldn't come up with the jokes, then you was gonna be super, super mad. You're gonna be upset or something. You just gotta have some fun. And then you grow up with. I swear, every comedian got this in common. Every good comedian, anyway. Every good comedian grew up in an unfortunate circumstance. It's always some type of trouble, some strife, some problems. And the only way you can get rid of your problems, or the only way you
Hmm.
can just get through it, is sometimes you just gotta laugh, man. You just gotta sit back and just, man, lights got cut out this month. you know, what you gonna do? What you gonna do now? You gonna light some candles around this mug? Like you, hey,
Yeah.
you can be pissed off in the dark, or you can laugh about it, man. You know.
And so that's what you did. You made light of the hard situations.
Oh yeah, absolutely, man. We done been through some things in my life, so you just
Yeah,
make light of it.
yeah, yeah. I mean, you're right. I mean, people that are generally in that field generally come from hard backgrounds and stuff. Well, I mean, talk to us a little bit about, just your like your family and your upbringings. Like, how was that, and how did you start to really know that you were funny?
Man, in school, man, I was always a fat kid growing up. So the fat
Mhm.
kid, I always get picked on. You know what I'm saying? So, and growing up in Chicago, everybody joking, everybody having a good time, everybody just doing this, man. And I was always a smart kid in class too. So I didn't really get super picked on, but still get picked on. Or just
Hmm.
like I wouldn't even call it being picked on, man. To be honest, it's like everybody got the jokes. It wasn't like, growing. It's crazy because I went to white schools and black schools at one point in time in my life. And you go to white schools, like certain kids get picked on.
Yeah.
Certain kids, like, what I'm saying, it's like, hey, Billy is the nerd in the class, and we all pick on Billy. Not at black schools. Black schools, everybody get roasted. Everybody from the best football player to the teacher to the
Yeah.
janitor, everybody get joked on.
Yeah.
In
It's
my
like,
in my elementary school, my high school, whatever. Everybody get joked on when you black. So just me, just like, hey, if I'm gonna get joked on, I'm like, hey, some gotta give. So I gotta be funny too. So when I came up, I just had the jokes back for him. So you just gotta come with it, man.
and so people laughed
People
at
laugh.
your joke.
People
Okay.
laugh. So it's crazy because I was kind of a class clown, but I always got my work done. You feel me? I,
Mm.
I was always like, top of my class and like testing and doing my work and all that stuff like that. So it wasn't much they could say to me, but shut up. I was one of them kids. Look, I swear it need to be a poll done, right? It need to be a poll done and ask all the kids who had this on their report card. Does his work, studies well, but can't keep his mouth shut.
Mm.
I swear that's on everybody. That's on everybody.
Mm.
Anybody I know that's worth being around, a smart person or like somebody that's well off in life or anybody that I ever know that was just smart, got that on their report card. 90% of us.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, you're right. I mean, it's usually that balance. But generally, I will say, for you to have been smart doing your work, studying and stuff, the class clown where I came from, that was not the case. They were the class
Mhm.
clown because they weren't doing any of that stuff. So that automatically makes you, I think, even more of a unicorn in my mind because you actually got your work done and actually, made good grades. The class clowns I knew didn't make good grades at all. They
Mhm.
was that's all they had was jokes. So it sounded like you had the best of both worlds.
Mhm.
So you get through, all of your schooling, you get to that high school stage. I'm sure at that point you probably were very well known. You say you were a class clown.
Mhm.
Talk to us a little bit about, how, important it was for you to kind of further your education outside of, you
I
know,
mean,
the high
yeah.
school world.
You gotta. I guess it was drilled in us, man. That just
Yeah.
you gotta go to school. You gotta go to school.
Hmm.
That's one of the things that, and I actually never even thought I would go past school, like all that stuff growing up in Chicago. 'Cause Chicago, a different beast, man. So it just after if you want to do something, if you want to do anything further with your life or just to become a more real well-rounded individual, you gotta keep going to school. And it ain't even necessarily about I was just talking about this earlier with somebody. It ain't even necessarily about the books that you what you learn from. It's about the people that you learn from. And when you get into higher education, college, after college, post college. I never went to post college, but like just regular college, and you still meet those people that's doing post college, right? And you get to meet them, and you get to see their different upbringings and their different ways of life, and you different types of people and different ethnicities, and you get all these things. But I think that's what's most important about going
Hmm.
to college. You know what I'm saying? Because
Yeah.
like, yeah, you can read the same books outside of college. You can take an accounting book and read it if you want to. If you could take a sociology book and read it outside of college, you don't need college to learn.
Right.
You need college to certify that you did learn it, but you don't need college to learn. But
Right.
but I do think you that college provides that college and it provides that what I want to say. It provides that foundation. It provides
Mhm.
that
Yeah.
environment, the
Yeah.
environment to where these cultures mix together and you get to see all these things you get to be in a class with somebody from Ethiopia that barely speak English, but
Hmm.
he kicking you. Do we curse on here? Can I curse on here?
Well,
No, no, okay, no, no curse, no curse.
kind
Nah,
of PG-ish.
PG. And then, well, he's kicking your behind,
Right. Okay. All right. Okay.
and he's kicking your behind in these tests. And
Hmm.
you just like, all right, this guy grew up, and it's crazy because all right, so we in school, and you remember like National Geographics and
Oh
stuff like
yeah.
that, and we
Yeah.
see these books, and we like, oh, people in Africa ain't got the people in Africa ain't this, people in Africa, man, people in Africa are beautiful.
Hmm.
And you don't realize that until you meet somebody from Africa.
Right.
And you don't get to meet nobody from
Right.
Africa until you go to college because ain't no Africans in your high school. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? You
Yeah.
you got these, and I think, and then we're gonna get into something else. I'll be tangenting, but you
No.
get into how people treat people, right? And you say,
Hmm.
black people are violent, black people are this, or white people are this, and white people are this, until you meet black
Hmm.
people.
Hmm. Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And it's
Hmm.
crazy. It's crazy because I grew up in Chicago for the most part, my adolescence, right? And
Hmm.
I grew up in Chicago, and I ain't see white people.
Really?
I ain't no white people in Chicago in the South Side. There no white people live around. Ain't I had one white teacher,
Wow.
and she wasn't even my teacher. She was just like a teacher that was in the school.
She was at the school. You know
She was
that?
at the school, and I ain't seen no white people growing up.
Wow.
I knew what the only thing I knew from white people was watching Frasier and Cheers
Uh-huh.
and Andy Griffin and
White
Nash
sitcoms. Okay.
and
Uh-huh.
Three Stooges. That's the only white people I knew growing up. So
Huh.
if that's all you know of these
Hmm.
people, then that's all you see. That's all you see is
Hmm.
National Geographic. The African people in grass skirts and stuff like
Right.
that. That's
That's
all you
yes.
see.
Yes, that's
And
what
then when
they
you go to college, you're like,
right.
this guy is way beyond me. I remember meeting people from Africa that speak five, six languages.
Wow. That's crazy. I'm still tripping on the fact that you didn't know white people in
Not like
Chicago. I
that.
would think I just this is my thoughts. I just thought that Chicago was so big, even in the South Side, that you would eventually see white people or be around white people in some type of capacity, like
No, no.
stores or something, right? No, like no interaction with white people.
Brother, people got an idea of how people grow up and things like that. So Chicago is probably one of the most diverse cities in the whole wide world, but it's also one of the most segregated cities in the whole world.
Hmm.
You can stay in your neighborhood and never leave out.
Wow.
You can stay on the south side, and the south side is huge itself. So the south side, you can be on 127 and then not ever see anybody from 115th because you stay on 127th and your grocery stores in your neighborhood, and your family might just not have the money to go downtown, or just might not have the means to go downtown, or you just might not never go out of your hood because of gang affiliation. And that's a whole different ball game in itself. Like you don't go out
Yeah.
of your hood like that because let's say you over here with the GDs and you like, I ain't going down there because once you five bus stops down, it's vice lords and you get caught down there, then that's how all types of wild stuff happen. Like I remember like going. And the only reason I used to go downtown because and I did see some white people down. I seen a lot of white people downtown, but none that I had no interactions with. I used to see him down at my mama's job. My mama used to work at Harold Washington Library when I was little. She worked at
Hmm.
Washington Library. So you see white people there or whatever, but it ain't no white people that I had interactions with. I never
Right.
talked to them. Like they was in the library, I was in the library, oh cool. But you don't see that on the south side like that.
Oh,
Ain't no, and I think now it's probably a little more diverse and as far as like who lives where and whatnot, because gentrification and all that stuff.
right.
Man, growing up, I don't know. It was one white kid, but he wasn't even like he was like uh he was white, but
What's the caveat? What is it? What is it?
and I don't even think he was white. I think he might have been like Spanish or something. I don't
Oh,
he
okay.
was
So,
he was other. I don't even think he was white because I mean like I see him now, he got a nice little tan on him like for real.
okay. He was probably Hispanic. He was Hispanic and not.
Yeah. Yeah, he was a little tan, so that was the only other that I went to school with, but I didn't go to school with no white kids. I never seen it.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I mean, I didn't either, but I mean, when
Mhm.
you said that you didn't really have any interaction with white people
Mm-mm.
in general, like that's like wow,
Mm-mm.
I didn't go to school with. I mean, my schools were primarily black, but we would see white people throughout Jackson. We would see them
Mhm.
in some capacity, but then again, Jackson is not nearly as big as Chicago
Right.
is. So,
Chicago big enough to where you can stay in your own area
wow.
and not go out and not see nobody else and just live in your own echo chamber.
So I'm just curious at this point. I mean, so did that kind of create a sheltered type of environment for you just being, in a place where you didn't really have to leave your neighborhood or you really didn't leave your neighborhood? Like, did you kind of just did you branch out ever or did you just kind of stay in that
And
vicinity?
most of the time you just stay in that area and then I know you got like they take you on field trips and stuff, and you go out
Hmm.
there and you see probably parts of other Chicago, and that's sometimes that was the only time that some people even went outside of the neighborhood was to go to those field trips or something like that. I remember one time in specific that we my mama took us all to like a White Sox game, like me and like five of my friends, and it was like that was the first time they had ever even been down there, and that ain't even downtown. That's like 35th Street. So you go down there. And I remember one time she took us downtown. We went to go see like we went to go see the it's a stupid movie. We went to go see a sneak preview, a movie premiere for Joanna Man.
Joanna, man, my
Joanna Man.
gosh.
So you can
Oh
I don't know,
boy.
Google whatever time that came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was
Joanna
like
Man.
early 2000s.
Joanna Man. Yeah, we
Yeah,
see that.
maybe
And
2001 or two, something like that.
yeah, so
Oh my gosh. Did you trip? Well, no, I don't want to get on that.
go
Was it
ahead, go
worth
ahead, go
the
ahead.
was it worth the trip to even go see Juana Man? Because I didn't even see it. I just know that it came out.
Yeah. So it came out in 2002.
Uh-huh. Yep, yep, yep,
So
yep.
was it worth the trip? Yeah, it was worth the trip, man. It was worth the trip to just now I look back on it for sure, for sure. It was like we got some young dudes out the hood for a little while. You know what I'm saying?
They had never been there. Never been to
And
that.
never Yep. Never I don't remember where the movie theater was, but it was downtown and we went to go see it and I remember my homeboy, he actually came here to Grand Rapids, man, probably like I say like a year ago. And he still bring up that trip to this day.
Oh wow. So that was kind of like a life changing impact
Hmm.
on them.
He's like, man, I remember your mama took us to that movie preview and we had backstage passes and blah 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 blah. You know, it was just a movie preview for probably for most people, but for some people it was like, hey,
Mm.
that's my first trip out the hood. That was shit like that. So it's just man, it like I said, man, you can be in Chicago and never be in Chicago. And they make if that makes sense. Because it's crazy because like most of the things that I know about Chicago now, like when I would talk about exploration and stuff, I found all that stuff out when I was an adult. It wasn't no going down
Mm.
and visiting all these places in the
Mm.
Navy Pier and you go to the Navy Pier and you eat ice cream sundaes
Yeah, that's how they kind
and
of make it seem on TV.
you get on the Ferris wheel.
Hmm.
Man, black people out South don't know nothing about that.
Wow.
They don't know nothing about that. That's why when stuff happened downtown, they're like, man, some wild must have happened because we don't be down there. You know,
Mm.
yeah, we don't be down there like that, which is crazy because the project used to be right downtown before they demolished it. But we'll go
Well,
into some
if
whole.
if my memory serves me correctly, isn't that where Michelle Obama it was from, the South Side,
Hmm.
Chicago? Now, as it relates to where you grew up, where was that in correspondence to where she was, where she grew up?
I don't know where she grew up. Like, to be honest, I didn't read her
Yeah, they
biography.
just always say South Side Chicago. I
Yeah.
just,
Southside's so big, man. It's just
it must be really,
Southside of
really big.
Chicago.
Yeah.
Southside of Chicago is I know where their house at now. It's like on like it's in Hyde Park, like 47th Street. That's probably a 30-minute, 40-minute drive from my grandma's house.
Wow.
My grandma stay on 109th Street. And they stay on 40, I think 47, 45, 46, something like that. But you talking about 50 blocks. So 8 blocks is a mile. So
Wow.
6 miles away. So 6 miles, but 6 miles in Chicago is different from 6 miles in Mississippi. You
Oh
know,
yeah,
so
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, 6 miles of Mississippi. You go from what, Enola to Inverness in 10 minutes. But 6 mile, and you know what's crazy though? Is I didn't realize how close downtown was to my grandma. It's probably like 12 miles, right? Like 12
Hmm.
miles away. But it's also like a 2 hour train. It's just like a 2 hour bus, train, hike to get down there. You know what I'm saying? Or 45-minute drive because of traffic. So
Wow. I appreciate you kind of giving me more backstory on that because I wouldn't have thought any of what you just kind of explained as it relates to like how that kind of works. You see what you see on TV. I've actually never even been to Chicago, so I don't know. I didn't think that of Chicago, and I definitely didn't think it was to the point where some people wouldn't even leave their neighborhoods or that area. I didn't think that was where that was, but it sounds like it's a really really big place, and it must have really comforted you for quite some time. I mean, like you said, you had been there for a good portion of your life. You grew up there. You made a lot of friends. And then I was talking to you about, getting out of high school, going into college, but now I kind of want to ask you something differently. Um,
that
as it relates to just your family and the upbringing that you had, uh, was it something that like when you did make it to like that senior year, was this something that made you want to leave and go to Mississippi? What was the attraction to leave where you were at that time to go to Mississippi and look to go to college?
I went to Mississippi when I was like 13.
Okay.
I with my mama. My mama moved to Mississippi on some just getting away
Okay.
things. So yeah, so we went to Mississippi when I was younger, so I really ain't had no choice. So
Okay.
yeah, I
So at that
ain't like
point,
no, it
you
ain't
were
like that. I
in
I
Mississippi
was
at that point. Okay.
yeah, it ain't like I was just thinking like, what should I move
Yeah,
to?
yeah, yeah. That's what I thought. Okay. Okay.
Mississippi? No, no, no. I would never pick Mississippi. I never been. Well, I had been to Mississippi like once, but I don't know nothing about it. I would have never. Nah,
Yeah. I'm
nah.
sure that was a shell shock in itself, wasn't it? To come from
Yeah,
Chicago. So
yeah.
what part of Mississippi did you all move to?
We moved to Inverness, Mississippi first.
Okay.
So
Mhm.
Inverness, Mississippi. That was the first time. And what's crazy is that Chicago is a segregated city, very segregated, and like very, very. But a lot of people don't know that. A lot of people see Chicago big city. Most big cities are segregated, really, to be honest. But when I went down there, it was the first time I had ever heard of a place referred to as the white folks side.
Mm.
White
Hmm.
folks side. I was like, he's like, you don't go over there to the white folks side. And it was like
Hmm.
real slavey. It was real slavey when they said it too. He's like, who's you better not go over there, but
Right.
we don't go over there on that side. For real.
Is it almost kind of like separated by like a railroad track or something? Is it like
Like
literally
Inverness?
segregated? Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, pretty much. It's like a
mhm.
highway and it's a railroad track. So like the way Inverness is segregated, it's like you can see the divide. You can see the divide. You can look at it.
Mm.
And you can look at the divide and yeah. Hmm.
So, I mean, is it still like that now? I don't think I've been to Inverness ever, but is it still like that now?
Yeah, yeah. And Inverness ain't going nowhere like those little towns like that. So most of my family from Isola, Mississippi. So
Okay.
all those
Hmm.
little towns, like it's crazy. And I was just talking about this the other day. And like it's crazy because when you think about those little towns, it's like all the good people move away.
Mm.
And not to say anything about the people that's still there, like those people are still my friends, my family, but all the people that because back in the day, what you would do is you would leave those towns and you would come
Hmm.
back and you would
Make
start your
it better.
businesses and you would just like you ain't like growing the town, but it's like it's a dentist office there, it's a the shop, the local shops is there, the shoemaker is there, but now it's like when I go off and I go get my degree, I'm not going back to Inverness.
Mhm.
Why would I go back to Inverness? Inverness like ain't nothing there, ain't no grocery store there, it ain't no. I'm not going back to Isola because I'm trying to go to the big city and live my dreams. Or you can't live
Mhm.
your dreams out in our soul. And I think that's the that might be the one bad thing about the reach that we have now. We see so much. It's like because my granddaddy grew up in Inverness, and he probably ain't never even been outside of Mississippi.
Oh, wow.
But
Wow.
I'm not sure though, because I know my granddad like that. I'm just speaking, just
Right.
like, but he probably ain't no different. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
It's just Inverness, Mississippi, and he content with that. But now we got so much reach, and we got so much, you know, we got so much, we got a plethora of things that we can just like read. Like I said, you go to college and you hear these stories about Chicago. Now I want to go visit Chicago. Now I want to go visit Atlanta. Ooh, I heard about the Freaknik. Ooh, I heard about, Carabana. I want to go to Toronto. I want to go to Miami. I want to this and that. But like back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
they worked there. But that was
Mm-hmm.
also back when inflation was low, and
Mm-hmm.
you could raise a family on
Mm-hmm.
this one job that you got in this small town.
Mm-hmm.
Well, now you got this job in this small town, and you really can't make it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then those people that's making this money or whatever, they're not coming back.
Yeah.
We're not building the community back up. So eventually, and this is a question. And where you from? You from Jackson, right?
I'm from Jackson. Yeah.
From Jackson. So, but they got like little small towns around. It's like I always wonder, like, at what point will those towns cease to exist?
Mm-hmm.
It may not be in our lifetime, but eventually, like, because we sending more and more of our kids to college,
Mm-hmm.
more of our kids are moving away. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I ain't never researched it. And I ain't that it's probably some research out there that'll probably prove me wrong. But it seems like those towns would decrease in size.
Mm-hmm. Oh no, you're right, and you're actually making me think about it on a larger scale. I don't think it's just the small towns. I think it's just Mississippi in general. It's a lot of people who just leave. It's people that leave Jackson and never come back. And even though Jackson is the capital city, it is riddled with a lot of
Hmm.
issues that I think people who could really be an asset to the community, they're not here. They're no longer in the area.
Because
You
why would
know,
I stay? Why would I
why
stay?
why would I
Why
stay?
would I
Exactly.
stay if you're not treating me right? It's just like
Right.
being a terrible relationship. It's like
Hmm.
why do I keep staying? You keep beating on me.
Right. Yeah.
Why do I keep standing? You keep calling me names.
Hmm.
You don't want to pay me.
Hmm. You
You
don't
don't want
want to
me to,
pay me.
you don't want
Right.
to pay me. You don't want me to live well. You don't want to fix
Hmm.
my streets. I got potholes everywhere. You don't want to
Hmm.
fix anything. But if I go to Dallas, they treat me like a king out here. Oh, they want to pay me. They want me to live in the nice houses. They want me.
Yeah.
They create fun for me. They create the crime is lower.
Hmm.
I why would I come back?
Dallas is like the beacon of
Mhm.
hope and opportunity for a lot of people, not just in Jackson, but in Mississippi. People are just like going
They
to
going
Jackson.
everywhere. They going everywhere. Like they going everywhere but Mississippi. Everybody I
Hmm.
know, everybody I know that's worth something. And I was talking to one of my friends the other day, and it's like everybody like it's crazy that the Mississippi is such a crappy state
Mm.
because I know so many good people
Yeah.
from Mississippi. Like
I think
you
you posted about that. Did you make
yeah.
a post about that? I feel like I saw that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah. And there's so many good people, man. There's so many smart people, so many great minds, and I hate to see people call Mississippi stupid because it is on paper,
Hmm.
but not in real life though.
Not in real life.
Not in real life, man. And I don't want to name drop people, but it's like, I know so many brilliant people that 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 just study well, speak well,
Hmm.
make good money, top of their class, and just do like just love. I know people that's probably not living to their potential because they stand in Mississippi. And I know some
Hmm.
people that's like, man, I'm too good for Mississippi. But you shouldn't feel like that because you should feel like you should be able to bring up your neighborhood or bring up
Hmm.
your state. But the state,
Hmm.
it just can't be brought up because I don't think they want to be brought up.
Hmm. But it's interesting that like even it's kind of frowned upon to, be smart, be intelligent, to do well for yourself, stay in Mississippi.
Hmm.
Or even let's say this, let's say you go to college, you go off and then you come back. You frowned upon when you come back in Mississippi, but say for instance, you can go off to college and come back to an Atlanta where you grew up from, or Chicago, or
Mhm.
Grand Rapids, or Dallas, and it's fine to go back home because it makes sense. Like it's good, but when you come back home and your home is Mississippi, it's kind of
Mhm.
frowned upon. It's kind of looked down on, like, oh, why'd you move back to Mississippi? You must not, have been able to make much of yourself. So
Yeah.
that's unfortunate too, that it's kind of double-sided that you can go somewhere else and then come back to another state and it's fine, but when you come back home to Mississippi, you kind of frowned upon.
Because they projecting they insecurities off on you.
Hmm.
I ain't making it here. Why would you come back here?
Right.
But I also like I think a lot of people see you as you got away.
You're right. They do see you
You escaped the plantation. What you coming back here for?
that way. Right.
What you done got out the farm? Like, well,
Uh-huh.
don't come back.
Don't come back.
And I think that is some sort of like I don't know. It's like sometimes they be hating, but sometimes they just be like, man, I just want to see you do better.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It's some people. I got some bros of mine that be like, man, if you left Mississippi, people will see how great you are. They ain't appreciating you in Mississippi.
Hmm.
I know some people like that right now. That's like, man, and I know, and but they trying to make a difference.
Yeah, they
Trying to
trying.
make a difference. They're trying to make a difference.
Mhm.
And you know what? I want to believe that they're making a difference and they believe they're making a difference. But at the same time, I know they could probably be a gazillionaire somewhere else
Hmm.
or somebody just appreciate them just a little. Like you see somebody in a bad relationship, you're like, man, I just know, man, that person ain't that they ain't treating you right. Mississippi is a bad relationship. You want it to work out. You want it to work out, man. He's like, I just want it. I just want it. But you like, man, that joke ain't
Mm-mm.
treating you right, man.
Mm-mm.
It's like an old R&B song. Look, I can treat you better. Dallas can treat you better. Houston can treat you better. Vegas, anywhere.
Anyway,
Move somewhere.
can treat
Move
you
somewhere.
way better, and it's sad. It's a really sad situation. It's really really sad.
But
Well, I mean, for all intents and purposes, you did get a dose of Mississippi. You got it for quite some time,
mhm,
to the point where you stayed around and you went to college. You went to Delta State, as you said.
mhm,
Uh, how was that experience in relation to, like, you said you got here when you were 13, so
mhm.
you made it into college. How was it any different for you, kind of in being in that space?
College was fun. It's too much fun. It was the and and like I said, it just broadened my horizon. It just made life better. And that's the only way I can always tell people, man, when people say they don't want to go to college or the college ain't for them, bro. College for everybody. Whether you
Hmm.
finish or not, whether you go there and you do whatever you do, whatever. I just think you owe it to yourself to go. It's too
Hmm.
many, it's too many avenues. It's too many avenues, and people say, "Oh, you go get a trade," and that's one of the things. That's one of the crazy things that people say to try to combat people from going to college and like I hear people say this like don't like college is a scam,
Hmm.
but no, it ain't. No, no, you just like you just went you majored in some bullshit. You got your degree in some bullshit. Bull crap. You got your degree in some
It's
bull
fine. It's good. It's good.
and whatever. Like even if you just like you, I think a friend of mine posted the other day, and he was just like basically like you know you can get your degree, but you gotta have confidence after your degree. You gotta have confidence. Confidence gonna get you in the rooms to where you don't think you can get into. You know what I'm saying? Well, somehow he worded it, and it was so real to me because like you see a lot of people go and they think they need 4 and 5 degrees or they
Yeah.
got to get a terminal degree
Right.
to make it or whatever like that. And I was telling him, I said, look, the president of my company got 1 degree.
Wow.
He's got 1 degree. He got a degree in chemical engineering.
Wow.
He got
Just
1 degree,
one solid degree.
1 solid degree.
The
And the
president of
dude,
the company.
and the dudes that's the presidents of the company that own us, I think one of them got a master's, but the other one got an accounting degree.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like you and granted they white, they so they got a little privilege there. But
Mhm.
but at the same time, it's like the confidence got them over other white people.
It did.
So that they still compete against other white people. So
Right. There was still some type
they
of
still
competition
they
that
still some type
involved
of yeah.
confidence. Yeah.
But when you see them guys and they speak so well and they carry themselves so well and you're like, ah, this guy's on a different level when you talk.
Hmm.
And you know you in the space where successful men are, you bump elbows with them, and you ever just talk to somebody who's like, oh, I get it,
Yes.
yeah, and because
Yes.
like you looking on TV, you look on TV and you say, how did he get this job? How did he like
Hmm.
he get here?
Hmm.
I'm better than this person, and you get
Hmm.
to talk to somebody that's in one of those spaces, you be like, oh, okay,
It
I
makes
ain't
sense
even
now. It tracks.
I don't even belong where he at right now. I
Yeah.
get it.
Yeah. You
Oh,
you you automatically understand it.
yeah.
Well, I mean, even in saying that, I mean, it's people that are, I'm sure, in that company that have several degrees that are reporting to somebody with just one degree.
Mhm.
So, that says a lot, even that. In saying that, I mean, you can have all the degrees, like you said, but still not really have it because of that confidence that
Mhm.
it
The
breaks through.
confidence. Like for real. And the confidence comes from your life experiences. And
Yeah.
your life experiences come from you just moving around. That's one
Hmm.
that's one thing that I drive home for people listening and watching this, bro. Move. Move once. Just move once. Just move somewhere
Hmm.
else. Move somewhere else where you gotta start fresh.
Mm.
Move somewhere where you gotta start fresh. If you move, you'll increase, even if you move back. Just leave where you at right now. Like you born and raised in Pontotoc, Mississippi. You go to school in Pontotoc and you get your job in Pontotoc and you have your kids in Pontotoc. You make yourself so closed off to Pontotoc, and that's all you know. Move once if you can.
Mm.
I know everybody. No, that's to put always to push back. You say, oh, what about people who can? I ain't talking about y'all. Stay where you at. You have a chance to move to like a bigger city or even a smaller cities, like it was crazy because I used to go to I went to Delta State and then you had to like to teach for America. You familiar with Teach for America
Yep,
people?
I am.
Teach
Hmm.
for America people come down there and they move from all over the world, right? They can move from all these big cities and like they go to these prestigious colleges and blah blah blah, Princeton and stuff like that and 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 all types of different universities. And they come down to these small towns and they're like, man, I love it here.
Hmm.
I would have never even thought to move down here, and I'm gonna come down here and I'm gonna make a difference. Blah, blah, blah.
Hmm.
I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and then they would never find a place unless they move.
Hmm. Hmm.
And
It's true.
while we might see it as a place that we're trying to escape from, they trying to
Yep.
get there. They like, oh, I just minimize my life. Like
Right.
I don't have to deal with the hustle and bustle of a big city no more.
Hmm.
He like, man, I never knew then some people can't wait to go back to their big city.
That's
But
right.
you would know that small city living ain't for you unless you lived in a small city.
It's true. To move and experience something different. You're right.
Move. And I think that's what college does for people too. They get to
It
move.
does. It
Yeah.
definitely does do that. It
Mm-hmm.
does. But I mean, you were still essentially kind of, it sounds as though you were still in the same mindset when you were in college. You had too much fun. You said that enjoyed it a bit too much. Was this the time when you started kind of crafting comedy, or was it still just like something that I mean, you were just a funny guy. You
Or
weren't in
just a
that.
funny guy. Comedy didn't like actual being a comic didn't come till I moved to Michigan. But I
Okay.
mean, it's something that I always wanted to do, to be honest. Like once social media started popping off and stuff like that, and I seen like people doing comedy and whatnot like that, it's always been a thing that I kind of wanted to do. So when I got here, like so in Mississippi, I didn't really have the space to do it.
Yeah.
No comedy clubs or nothing like that around there, but I mean, you can make it happen. You got famous comics from Mississippi, so yeah, Carlos Miller from like Oxford,
Hmm.
and you got other comics from there too. But it's like you can make it happen, but I just didn't know the avenues from which to do it. And here it just kind of like is where I started the comedy, like actual stand-up comedy.
Hmm.
So I guess you could say I crafted the funny before then, but I mean, I started the stand-up comedy here in Grand Rapids.
So the comedy didn't start until you moved back to Grand Rapids.
Hmm.
And like you said, social media, like at that time, yeah, it was starting to really pick up, around then. Did you go into it like full throttle with comedy, or were you kind of doing it, working at the same time, and then just kind of, getting into some of those spaces where you could, do some comedy shows
Hmm.
in, those types of clubs and things?
So I'm still working my job now. If you,
Okay, yeah, that I
you
understand that.
it'd be a long time, man, for you be able to come like
Yes, yeah.
a comic to where you don't have to work your job. Like, yeah,
Hmm.
it's a lot of free shows and a lot of $50 and $75 and $40, $20. There's a lot of them shows where you start doing. So I did go into it full throttle. I went through it like boom, finna do shows and shows and shows and you keep on going. Then the pandemic happened.
Oh
And
yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah.
22, yeah.
I actually did my first show the week before the pandemic happened. So
Wow.
yeah, I hit my first show and I was like, man, I like this, man. Boom, I did pretty decent, for a first time. And I was like, man, I'm finna hit the ground rolling. Then next week they
Yeah.
was like, nah, we shutting this thing down.
The whole world shut down.
Whole
I
world shut
remember
down.
that weekend when the world just shut down with pandemic.
March 2020.
Yeah, March 2020. So, how did you continue to keep it going even in the midst of the pandemic? Because, you,
Hmm.
you didn't stop. You kept doing it. How did you do that?
You just got to keep writing, man. You just got to keep writing and try to tell the jokes how you can tell them. It was some hideous Zoom shows that we did.
Mm,
I was terrible. Like, don't look that up. But it was a part where people were doing like Zoom shows, like they get on here and it'd be like a bunch of people on here, and then now we're gonna tell some jokes, like type stuff like that. It was very cringe, if I must say so myself. Uh,
hmm.
but
That's
uh,
where we were, though. I mean, that's the only way we could do it.
yeah, that's the only way we could do it, like for real. That's it. But that and just keep writing. Writing is And as a songwriter, you just gotta keep writing. You just gotta keep
Hmm.
putting the pen in the paper,
That's
and then
right.
eventually something will come out. And then
Hmm.
working the jokes is the number one thing. But you couldn't work the jokes then. And then I just got a notebook full of stuff you can try when it comes back up.
Hmm.
And in my writing process, I just kind of like I might say something funny one day and I'm like, oh, let me catch that down or uh I rarely sit down and just straight up write, but I'm writing all the time, if that makes
Mm.
sense.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Well, I didn't watch any of the Zoom stuff, but I mean, you post, you used to post stuff, I should say, when you were, in your shows and you were, kind of in those comedy sessions, and they were hilarious.
Mhm.
I am curious, did it ever help you in the sense of like going viral or having, people, respond to your material in that manner? Did that kind of help boost, kind of get your name out there a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit, especially around the scene around here, and it helped me get booked a couple times, in Grand Rapids and other places in Michigan. So yeah, it helps. It helps.
Hmm. Yeah, I would imagine all the social media outlets are, like really profitable for if it goes viral, if something kind of takes off, it's like a dead way of,
Yeah.
getting to where you want to be.
Yeah, social media is really the key.
Hmm.
Really a tool. I know a lot of people like to be against it. Like, oh, I just want to, it's a lot. It's a big thing in the comic community. It's like, oh, these social media comics and blase. And, it's just the way, man. It's the way.
Yeah.
It's sometimes you just got to keep up with the times.
Hmm.
Social media is where it's at. It ain't going nowhere.
No.
You better use it, and it's only getting even deeper now. You got AI stuff, and
Right.
AI stuff is next level too. I don't know if you into AI or like AR, even that, so it's
So
it's
I don't even know what AR is. What is AR?
augmented reality
Oh yeah. Okay.
where like you can go into places and like you eventually what's gonna happen. You ever seen the Oculus before?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
Have you ever seen the Apple Vision Pro?
Yes.
Yeah, that's next level. So like
Oh, okay.
just
Okay.
just just from having I got Oculus over there. I don't have an Apple Vision Pro. I'm not that rich. If anybody like to donate for me to get an Apple Vision Pro, send me
Okay.
$3,500.
Wow. Finding money. Yeah.
Now, but this one here, I think the Oculus is $300 and the Apple Vision Pro is like $3,000, right? It's the next level. Like if you got an Apple Store around you, go put it
Yep.
on.
Okay.
Go tell them to give you a test run of it, and you'll see. If you ever used the Oculus before?
I've never used it. I
Yeah,
just know of it.
yeah. Find the Oculus to use, and then use one of those, and then you'll see the progression,
Oh
and
wow.
you'll see what's next.
Dang. Because it,
And
it is coming.
we get into this conspiracy type stuff, but that's next.
Mm-hmm.
That's next. You'll be dating on that thing
Oh wow.
eventually. Like you can like the Oculus, you just go in there, right? You go in there and like you in these little rooms and you like boom, you're a cartoon character, blah blah blah. This Apple Vision Pro, you in there. And you can augment reality. So like, hey, I'm sitting right here. I don't want to turn my computer around. If I got a TV up here, a big screen TV right here. You can just put the TV on the wall and it'll stay right there in your augmented reality, and nobody else can see it but you. And you can watch
What?
TV right there. And you can put a clock up on the wall. You can design your room to however you want to have your room, and nobody else sees it but you. And this these big clunky glasses, right? And they got the big clunky glasses. That's the only downside for me. It's heavy on your head.
Mhm.
But you can go visit Egypt and you can walk around uh with the people, you know,
Wow.
and it looks real. And that's just we in the beginning stages of these things, right? You got glasses where you seen the Meta Ray bands,
Yeah.
the Meta Ray bands where you can look at something and say, hey, uh, hey Meta, tell me how long I've been on this podcast. And it'll be like, well, you've been on the podcast, blah, 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 blah. And then you say, hey, Meta, I like the shirt that Sherman got on. Where'd he get it from? And they say, blah, 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 he got it from blah, 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 blah. Would you like me to order you one?
Wow.
This is next level stuff. So if you don't use these tools, and
Yeah.
somebody posted one day, and this is real. They say, oh they because it was in response to somebody saying, hey, these things are gonna take your jobs away. They're gonna take your jobs. These things are gonna take your job. I said, no, augmented reality and AI is not gonna take your job. But people that use AI is gonna take the jobs of people that don't use it.
Mm.
Have you used ChatGPT yet?
I have just very, very, but
I use it all the time. With everything. I make
wow.
I make grocery lists with it. I make workout plans with it. I make diet plans with it. I write love letters with it. Look, I use it for everything.
Wow.
It eventually it's gonna take the place of a lot of things. I promise you. Like I do everything. I look up. I don't even Google anymore. I just ask Chat. Chat is my best friend, and it learns. It knows my BMR. It knows what I ate yesterday. It's my best friend.
Wow. I definitely have heard that, the things that it can do is just crazy. So that makes me kind of wonder if I'm behind. I don't think I use it nearly as much as everybody else does.
It
I think I
makes
need to.
charts. It makes graphs. It makes pictures. It writes songs. It writes poems. It can do whatever you ask it to do
Wow.
from different perspectives. If you and like I say, hey, if I say, hey, Sharon, I need a letter of recommendation. I'm just so busy. I'm just so busy. You know what? I got you. I got you. I got you, Darius. Boom. You say, hey, watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Watch this. I just want you to just talk for 1 second.
Uh,
Talk about anything.
yes, the weather today was very very warm, but
Look, I'm gonna ask chat to write me a letter recommendation. Write me a letter
wow.
of recommendation from Dr. Sherman Green.
Hmm.
Green.
And it so when you do that, how soon does it like
I'm
give
finna show
you?
you. I'm finna show you Stowers for adjunct professor.
Okay, let's see what it's doing, ladies and gentlemen.
Boom. Certainly. Here's it goes. I don't even know if it probably won't show
Yeah,
it.
it's because you got the blurred thing, so you can't really see it.
I
But
wish
just
I wish
read a little bit of it. Like, what is it saying?
say I am writing this letter to provide my highest recommendation for Mr. Darius Deontay Styles, who is seeking an adjunct professor position at your esteemed institution. I have had the
Wow,
pleasure of knowing Darius several years in both professional and academic capacities,
wow.
and I am confident in his strong character, academic knowledge, and passion for teaching that makes him an outstanding candidate for this role. Darius possesses the unique blend of intellectual rigor, real world experience, and deep commitment to community service, all of which contributes to his effectiveness as an educator. His experience in the field, combined with his leadership in community based initiatives such as uh, this is crazy right here, right? Because we have not talked about this,
No, no.
knows this from a future, I mean, a past conversation that we had, right? What is
Uh-huh.
it? He, his experience in the field combined with his leadership in community-based initiatives such as his volunteer work with Kids Food Basket. Me and you never talked about that, but it knows it because I've asked it to write me a letter of recommendation
Oh,
on this a long
wow.
time ago. I didn't put that in the prompt. This is some stuff from weeks ago that I had to write me a letter of recommendations. All right. From a Kids Food Basket, Meals on Wheels demonstrates his dedication to using his knowledge to better the lives of others. This and it's long, and it says sincerely, Dr. Sherman Green, PhD, professor of sociology. I don't know, you probably ain't a professor of sociology, but
No, no, it's
but it
not.
just
But
it just
still,
it
just the
just
fact that it knew how to hit all the areas, man. That's scary right there.
bruh,
That's scary.
bruh. When I say it's crazy.
Wow.
It's crazy. It just wrote a letter, and in the time that we're talking, it's 5 seconds. If it took 30 seconds to write that,
Mm.
keywords, and then you can say, "Hey, I don't like that one. Give me a different one.
Give me
Make
a
it shorter.
different.
Make it
Hmm.
shorter. Make it longer. Make it from a perspective of somebody who's from India. Make it
Oh, wow.
you man. You can do whatever you want to do on that thing. And
Wow.
if you're not using ChatGPT
I need
or
to
some
kind of
type
look
of
into
AI,
it much more. Yeah.
if you're not using AI right now, get ready to lose your job to me.
Yeah. Then that's real right there. That's true. I feel ancient, not even, utilizing it just in the capacity you just shared just then. That's crazy.
Well,
That is
why
crazy.
would you sit down? Why would you sit down and spend 3 hours to craft a letter recommendation when it's gonna sound like that? When it's gonna sound like that's how letter recommendations sound.
Yeah, that's exactly how they
That's how they
sound.
all read. That's how they all read.
Hmm.
And you
You're
can
right.
put personal stuff in there. You can hey give it to you and how you revise it. But
That's
it's gonna sound like that.
crazy. That's crazy. That
I
is
just I
crazy.
just saved you 3 hours.
Wow.
How long would you say it take you to write a letter recommendation?
It would take a minute because I mean I would have to really think about the person, think about the stuff that they've done. Sometimes I ask for them to send me a resume so I can, put,
Oh,
bits
guess
and
what? Guess
pieces
what?
in.
Guess what though? You see, then here's the thing, and I know we getting way off topic here. All right, cool. But you get that resume, right? You can upload the resume to ChatGPT and tell it to analyze it.
Wow.
You can upload a graph to ChatGPT and say, analyze this graph for me. Where is it? It would probably take you an hour, 2 hours to get like a financial graph and break it down and say, oh, these things are projected, blah 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 blah. And you like, let's say you want to do some stock market stuff, and you say the candlestick method, and I'm gonna do it this, that, this and that. It can analyze it right there.
Wow. Wow. That's crazy.
It can take pictures and analyze it.
Wow.
You can trick it though, and it can be wrong. You can trick it. I put a math problem in there one day. You got the math problem right, but it was like two triangles that was in there, and it couldn't really decipher what was going on in there, and it got it wrong from my answer. My answer was right.
Uh-huh.
My answer was right, and I was like, I wonder if chat would be able to decipher this, but it couldn't decipher between the two triangles and how because it was handwritten and there was some stuff in
Mm.
there. But for the most part,
Wow.
AI man,
That's crazy.
AI.
Well, if anybody needs to be utilizing it, please, as he's just shown, start using it. I'm telling it to myself too. That's
Mhm.
amazing, man. I didn't know it could do all of that. Um, okay, so we got there from using social media and also getting more into AI and ARs, and that's how we got there.
Mhm.
So now, and you did mention this, so it's a good little segue to talking about this. You talked about at one point in time you were the big kid in school, the class clown, but you were the bigger
Mhm.
kid, and you just talked about how you use AI to augment your diet plans.
Mhm.
So somewhere along your journey, you got into, changing your health or, making it improving it to be a little better. How did it happen? And talk to us about that journey, how it's been for you.
Man, so I started, man, I lost, what it was, I thought I lost like 60, 70 pounds back in like 2014 or 15, something like that. No, it was like, 2012, when I first found out I was diabetic. I lost some weight, you know what I'm saying? So, but I just lost it just doing random regular stuff like that. And then I gained it all back, right? I gained it all back and you get fat, you eating a bunch of junk and just not living right, cool. So, back in like 2019, I started working out again, lost a bunch of weight back again, and then it just like boom, and then the pandemic happened in 2020. I was in the best shape of my life, and then the pandemic happened, and I got lazy and I got fatter again. And my highest recorded weight was probably like 330, 340. So I'm just a fat guy. You know what I'm saying? Now I'm back on it, man. It's just like and I think I got a different mindset than before and things are just going so much better now. But I just like, man, and I'm older and I'm wiser and I'm more knowledgeable about these things and there's so much information out there, man. I love social media and I love, a lot of people say social media is messy, but I'm like, bro, you just ain't using it right.
Yeah, if you use it
You
correctly,
ain't
it's not
using
that
it
bad.
right. Like you say, oh man, that's all they do is talk about this. And I hate to see people say, all they do is talk about this, and all they do is talk about that. And that's because that's what you subscribe to.
That's right. That's
That's what
right.
you and you do motivational speaking too, right?
I do. Yep, I do.
You do motivational speaking. If you look up motivational speaking, it's a billion hours of motivational speaking on Instagram.
Hmm.
You
Hmm.
could go on Instagram and listen to David Goggins and Jocko and all these motivational guys from all these different backgrounds, Marines, financial coaches. You can listen to that stuff and never get on the R. Kelly subject in your life. Never listen to a Real Housewife of Atlanta.
That's
Never see
right.
two niggas fighting at a gas station in your life. You will never see it if that's not what you're looking for.
That's right. Right. That's right.
You'll
That's
never see it. You'll never
right.
see it. My Twitter feed is full of hood fights. You know why? Because that's what I do on Twitter. That's why I'm on Twitter. It's hood fights and other scantily clad things. But look, that's the only reason I'm on Twitter, and that's what my Twitter feed looks like. On Instagram, guess what? I'm always looking up workouts. I'm always looking at workouts, fitness people, fitness experts. That's all that's on my timeline. That and my friends. That,
Mm.
that's all that I see. And it's like you can literally surround yourself with these motivational, these positive things. And I say that to say it's like it's so much information out there now to help us with being fit
Mm,
and making smarter and healthier choices and decisions,
mm-hmm.
you know. And I seen that stuff, man. And I really like weightlifting. So weightlifting is become a hobby of mine, a muse of mine, if you will. And I just love it, man. And it's helping me get healthier, you know. And I'm not gonna tell everybody that's the only way to get healthy. That's just the way I choose to do it. I think it's the best way to build muscle mass, and you build muscle mass, and muscle helps out a whole lot of things. So full disclosure, I'm diabetic,
Mm-hmm.
so that's one of the things that I struggle with. I've struggled with for 10 plus years now, and it's so much literature out there that you can read, and if you don't like reading, you can watch it. You can listen to it. They got podcasts. There's all these things that can help you out. There's no excuse for us to live like this. And and that's another thing that's we talked about black people earlier. And it's like the I think personally, I think if we were a fitter community, I think we would be a better community.
Mm,
A lot of our problems come from bad living.
mm-hmm.
A lot of our problems, like we put on ourselves, and you say, but that's what we around. That's true. But eventually we gotta stop using that excuse. Eventually we gotta stop eating these hamburgers and burgers and milkshakes and cookies and pies and drinking Hennessy and
Yeah.
all that stuff. I recently stopped drinking too. So that's one of my things that, uh, but it's like, man, it, it's got to become a way of life. And I think healthier people make better decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
And not
That's
and
true.
not and not and you know we're not gonna get on the body types or the body shapes and body sizes. It's because just because you're small don't mean you in shape, or don't mean you healthy. And when I say healthy, I mean like people who exercise daily. You got clearer mind. You're not making these rash decisions. People who eat better. They live longer. They have more prosperous lives. And you see that, man. And it's crazy because like it exists in more affluent neighborhoods, right? So if you live in more affluent neighborhoods, you see less fat people.
Mm,
Yeah, like for real, for
mm-hmm.
real. Like so if you go to like a and I'm just gonna give some town names. Y'all might not know them, but you live in Hudsonville, Michigan. Hudsonville, Michigan is a more affluent area, and you see people running outside.
Mm,
You see people
mm-hmm.
jogging outside. You see old people walking their babies, old people walking their dogs, old people pushing strollers, old people just walking, young people, kids, everything. You see that type of stuff. You live in poor neighborhoods, the less well-off neighborhoods. Nobody exercises.
Mm.
Nobody trying to get in shape. Nobody doing that. If you skinny, you're just skinny by happenstance.
Yeah.
You just happen to be skinny. We all eating the same thing.
Yeah, that's true.
You just happen to be the one that's skinny. But that don't mean you living healthy. And I
Mm-hmm.
ain't saying you gotta live 100% healthy or whatnot like that, because I'm still a fat dude. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get better every day. But at the same time, it's like, man, when I started exercising every day, or a few days, I work out like 6 days a week now. You work out, your mind get clearer.
Mm,
When you eat better, your body feel better. It's like you your skin change. Everything changes with exercise. I think everybody, and it's crazy because I ain't saying nothing revolutionary. I'm just saying what your doctor been telling you your whole goddamn time you've been in the doctor. Hey, you fat. Do something about it. But the
take some
doctor don't say it
action,
like
right?
that. The
Take some
doctor don't say,
action.
huh?
I said, take some action, right?
Take some action. But that's what the doctor tell you every day. Every time
Mm-hmm.
you go to the doctor, your doctor don't tell you that, what, you look good in the skin you in. No, your doctor tell you fat every time. I know
Mm,
doctors. I know doctors.
mm,
No doctor has told you look good in the skin you in. If you and I know the BMI things ain't 100% accurate. I don't like that. And then you be like, oh, you obese. Well, I know a guy that's 250 pounds and 5'9", and he's jacked. So he not obese, but on the chart they say he obese. But he like a big strong dude. So
Yeah.
that's not always the case. So don't go by that. Because BMI just
Hmm.
measures mass or whatever like that. But you man, black people we just too fat.
Mm.
And people don't want to say that. It's like, oh, you body shaming, you fat shame, bro. We too fat, bro. We
Mm.
can't, we not even living long. We keep getting
Mm.
these and a lot of guys don't have primary care physicians.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
That's typically not a woman thing. It's typically a guy thing. We don't even have
Hmm.
primary care physician. Why don't you have a primary care physician? Go up and ask the next ten black dudes you see. And you probably be different because you in a different space. But just ask 10 random black dudes. Who your primary care physician?
Yeah, I know the answer that I would get.
Shit, 1 out of 10. 1 out of 10, 2 out of 10. Gonna be like, oh, well,
Yeah.
last time you had a physical. Last
Mm,
time you had a
right.
physical. And how old are you?
I'm 42.
42. So you knocking on that door. You knocking on
Yeah.
that door where the doctor got to put on the white gloves.
Right.
You're knocking on that door. What is it,
I'm not
45?
looking forward to that at
Is it
all.
40?
Yeah.
What did they
Yeah.
say, 45?
Yeah, it's 45. I think they're trying to move it up to 44. I think
You're
because,
like, hey,
Chadwick Boseman, how he could have prevented his stint with cancer if he'd had what is it? What is it even called? I don't even know what it's called.
prostate check.
Yes,
Prostate check.
prostate check. Yeah.
Yeah, prostate
Um,
check. It's time, man. Like we getting older, but we shouldn't wait till we get older. There's a lot of these ailments that we can catch. Now that does have something to do with your environment or something like that. Some people might not have the best health insurance or whatnot like that, but I ain't talking to them. I know a lot of people. I hate when people give me that pushback. Not a lot of people. Well, I ain't talking to them. I'm talking to you.
right.
I'm talking to you. You got insurance.
Yeah, there's no reason to
Put
not
your
have
put
those
your in,
things.
put your insurance and then go get you a physical.
Hmm.
Go get yourself checked out. You
Yeah.
spend you spend money on everything else. You buying bottles at the club and you getting Hennessy bottles and you're doing all this other stuff. And I don't like to tell people what to do with their money, but I tell you what, you need to go to the doctor. You need to go
Yeah.
to the doctor. And
Right.
guess what? Working out ain't even a thing where it's like, oh, Planet Fitness made. I'm gonna say Planet Fitness made that people saying, the gym is just too expensive. They ended that.
They
They
did.
they ended that. That's over with. That's
Yeah.
over with. ten
That's
dollars a
not
month.
that's not a that's not a
It,
discussion point anymore.
it's $10 a month. $20 a month if you want to go to all of them. You can go to whatever one you want. It's like 12
Wow.
of them in Grand Rapids.
Wow.
It's like 12 of them. Like anywhere within a 2, 3 mile radius is a Planet Fitness. I say
Wow.
about 5 mile, about 5 mile radius. Boom, 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 boom. It's a Planet Fitness around. So you can't tell me you ain't got no money for no gym membership.
Yeah, it's
I just ain't got the money for you buy McDonald's once a month. That's your gym membership.
hmm
That's your gym membership. You buy all types of you buy shoes. You bought a pair of shoes this year. That's your gym membership for the year. We talking $120. You
hmm
made $120 purchase this year. That's your gym membership.
That's the whole gym membership
And
for
I know you got $120. If you ain't got $120, my
yeah.
bad. I apologize. But guess what's free though? Outside.
Nah, that's true.
Outside, you can go out there and run.
Or
And
even in your house, you can do stuff in your house.
yep. You can go walk. Walking is probably one of the best things. Anybody
Mhm.
that was telling me ask me like how you start your workout journey, shit, go walking. You
Mhm.
go walking. Hey, go walk. Walking is a good form of cardio. Is it
Yeah.
gonna make you an Olympic athlete? Probably not. But I tell you what though, it's gonna burn some extra calories. It's gonna get you motivated to work out further. It's gonna get you motivated to like you got to go get your dog. Now you gotta walk your dog.
Yeah, you gotta walk the dog.
Now you gotta walk the dog. Go walk the dog. Go walk. I'm not even saying like now I lift heavy weights. My shoulder messed up right now. From playing basketball though, but you ain't got to do no high impact nothing. Go walk.
Hmm.
Go walking. You see them ladies out there hitting the track. I mean, look, out there hit the track, man. Go there, hit the track. 'Cause that not my daughter first day of school was the other day, and you
Mm.
go in there and you see all these soft dads. You can't even
They
protect your
had
kid.
like the
You can't even
dad vibe, like with the guts and stuff.
just you can't even protect your kid.
Oh man.
You can't even protect your family. Like how you gonna protect your family? You get tired, you walk up a flight of steps. We owe that to ourselves to be able to walk up a flight of steps and not be.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. You're
You
right.
owe it to yourself.
You're right.
You ain't even talking about the fat people. This is talking about regular small guys. You are
Mm-hmm.
tired when you walk upstairs. If you tired, like think about this right now. If you listen to this right now, you watching this. If you tired from walking up the stairs, you owe it to yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You owe it to yourself. I ain't even gonna put no push-ups or nothing like that. And how much you can lift, they ain't got nothing, whatever. But if you tired from walking up some stairs, if you walk up the stairs and that last step you grab on that balance and you say, "Woo!" I'm talking to you.
Talking to you. Yeah.
Talking to you. I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking to you.
Mm-hmm.
How you gonna play with your kids if you out of breath?
That's so true.
How you gonna play with your kids? Like your kids don't know that you tired. I'm tired. Mom tired. Daddy tired. Woo, woo. When they
Mm-hmm.
say you tired from work, that's cool. But like you tired from playing with them. You wasn't tired when you started. Now you running around with them. Now you tired. Woo.
Yeah.
Owe it to yourself. You owe it to your kids to go out there and try to do something about it. You see them
Yeah.
big old people that's 400, 500 pounds, bro. You ain't gonna be around long.
Mm.
You ain't
Well,
gonna be around
I
long.
just I just appreciate you just kind of sharing some brutal honesty, some things that people need to hear about, just having that perspective of health. And I'm also glad that you even saw it in yourself to, make those changes and do what you needed to do. Even in having some of those little roadblocks that you had, you still, persevered and got through it. That makes me kind of want to ask you this too. We're talking about the comedy, we're talking about your health. And this the inner life coach in me. I gotta ask, questions about people's goals. What's a goal that you have for yourself with the comedy? What's a goal that you have with yourself with your health?
Now, the goal to have with comedy is just to keep working,
Okay.
and just continually grind and just keep working and just hone my craft, and eventually the right people will see it, and eventually the right opportunity will present itself. The timetable, I don't know how that goes, but just got to keep grinding with my health. I mean, I would like to. Man, consistency sound like the easy answer. I mean, like numbers. I mean, I can do numbers, but man, I just don't think numbers tell the whole thing. But just to make sure that I set a good example for my daughter. I just want to make a good example for my kids, man, and just make sure that they know that health is a priority,
Hmm.
and I just want to make health a priority in my life, like eating better, working out, doing all this stuff, and just to make that a priority in my life because it has not always been a priority, and it should have been, and
Hmm.
it should be going forward. And I got no excuses, and but other than being lazy, and I gotta make this shit happen.
Hmm. And the fact that you are speaking in that way, I can really tell that it's helping you. Like you are making better decisions already. I can
Mm-hmm.
hear it. And it speaks to what you said about like when you start working out and you start to care about your fitness and your health, the
Mm-hmm.
clarity comes. And I can hear that 100% on your end. Sounds
Mm-hmm.
like you are making some really good decisions for yourself and not just yourself, I mean your family too. So
Mm-hmm.
I just commend you to continue to keep doing what you're doing. You're doing some great things. I
I
got
appreciate that.
one more question for you.
Go ahead.
What is one word that affirms who you are?
Mm, one word. That's rough right there, man. You motivated, man. I'm motivated.
Mm,
I'm
hmm.
motivated now, man. I'm just so I'm just I'm 10 toes down in this thing, man.
Hmm.
in every aspect. I'm just motivated, man, and I'm just hungry, man. I'm just, hey, whatever I can do to make my life better right now, and I'm trying to do it.
Hmm. I see it. I see it all day. I see it. I see it. Brother Darius Stowers, thank you so very much, man, for joining the show tonight. I know that a lot of people laughed at you, so that was a great thing. And I know that they also got some really good information and some very truthful honesty on the end of your health and your health journey. So I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing out all that with us tonight. So if individuals want to connect with you on social media or any platform, how can they do so?
So you can reach me. I'm on Facebook at Darius Stowers. Uh, you can just reach me on that. And all my social media handles is a goddamn fool, and that's AGOTDAMNPHOOL. That's all my social media handles. I got the I'm I'm mostly on Instagram and
Hmm.
Facebook
Yeah.
and Twitter X out
Hmm.
there. So
Yeah. I'm trying to fill out the TikTok space. I'm not really just
yeah.
there on TikTok
I'm not
yet.
really a video person, so I had a TikTok and they banned my account for some reason. I don't even know. It wasn't nothing crazy or nothing on there, but I don't know. They banned my account or something like that, so I got kicked off. So I never really just hopped back on it because I wasn't on there much. Like I just posted a video or two here and there,
Mhm.
but
Okay.
yeah, not really my cup of tea.
Uh-huh. I get it.
Needs to be
So,
though.
I actually got one more thing to ask you. What's something that you are grateful for today?
Man, Chat GPT. No,
Right.
ah, hey, I swear to God, look, Chat GPT saved my life, man. Look,
Yeah, it sounds like it really is,
it
man.
has saved hours and hours and hours of my time. Like for real, for real. Like, man, I can't even speak. Man, look, if you don't take nothing else from this interview, man,
Yeah.
man, go download ChatGPT and just have it work for you, man. It's transformative in what it can do and how much time it saves you. Like for real, for real. It saves you time.
Wow.
And time is money.
Hmm.
Time is money. Time is yes. Yes.
Hmm.
Yes. Yes. It will save you a lot of time. It makes life easier. Yeah. I'm grateful for ChatGPT. I'm putting it
Okay.
on my
I,
I'm
I I
putting it on
think
my Thanksgiving.
that's a bona fide gratefulness moment. I think saving time and it's helping you do that. So no, I think that's fine. I think if I was to think of something, I would just say I don't think I have. I mean, I probably have, but um, we take for granted laughing.
Hmm.
And what it can do for you. We carry so much stuff, the inner stressors, the day-to-day things that we go through, and we don't take enough time just have a conversation or laugh at something or, not to take ourselves so seriously. So I'm grateful to be able just to do that, to be able to laugh and just, take a break from all the serious stuff. So I'm grateful for that.
Can I say one more thing though? I,
Yes.
I'm grateful for my daughter too.
Oh,
My,
absolutely.
my
Yeah.
daughter has changed my life in ways that she will never know. It's so amazing just to bring a life into this world and to have that life be dependent upon you and you having to just change certain things about the person you are and you have to make it the person you were.
Mhm. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's pretty incredible, man. That's
Hmm.
pretty incredible. Well, again, I thank you so very much for joining the show tonight. And everybody that's watching, everybody that's listening, please be sure to follow me on all my social media platforms. I'll put the screen up so you can see where I am. Follow me, go to my webpage, subscribe to my YouTube page. You can watch this episode and many more episodes to come on it. So please be sure to do that. And also come back again next week. We're going to have another amazing topic, another amazing guest. I hope you all have a great rest of the night and have a great weekend.